According to scientific researchers, the Sun will reach a point where it has fused most of its hydrogen atoms into helium. This is when the core starts to diminish. However, the hydrogen remains on its outer shell, which in contrast can still be fused into helium. This will cause very high temperature, up to 80 million Celsius degrees, which itself will produce higher luminosity and reaction rates. This will lead the outer layer to be broadened. This is mentioned in Surah 81, verse 1, when the Sun becomes like a swelling ball. The outer shell will reach its maximum size, and the Sun will be classified as a red giant in about 7 billion years from now. In verse 38, Surah 36, the Qur'an mentions briefly and with no details. The Sun runs its course towards a proper state of stability. However, in other verses, it tells gradually more and more details about this predicted occurrence. As the Sun has reached its final stage, it will occupy a much greater region in space than the region it's occupying today. The theory of the Sun's evolution has been taken into consideration when explaining verse 37 from Surah 55. And when the heaven splitteth asunder, and becometh rosy like red hide. However, this verse has been explained in different ways. Unlike other verses, it is open to more explanations. One of the explanations that seems sensible to the modern day thinking is the Cat's Eye Nebula. The Cat's Eye Nebula is a result of an explosion of a star at its death. It is predicted that at the Sun's death, it will explode and have a similar phase as the Cat's Eye Nebula. This prediction supports the first explanation of the verse, together with verses 7, 8, and 9 in Surah 70. The day when the sky will become as molten as copper, and the hills become as flakes of wool.
The issue of how the Earth will look like when the Sun evolutes is open to debate among researchers and scientists. Many of them agree with the fact that the Sun will grow bigger. It will consume the whole solar system, and its first victim will be Mercury. Next is Venus, which is transformed into a firebolt and later on boiled away. Still the Sun grows. It's 160 times the original size and 2,000 times hotter. And its next victim is the Earth. The place that we once called home now melts and is absorbed. "7 billion years from now, the Earth will be gone." This is mentioned in Surah 82, verse 1-3. When the heaven is cleft asunder, when the planets are dispersed, when the seas are poured forth,